I like to cover the goings-on of content creators on this channel, and this story is probably one of the most intense that I've covered on this channel. If you thought being harassed to tears over streaming the Wizard video game was intense and a wild overreaction, wait until you hear about the YouTuber who got his house burned to the ground by arsonists over a couple of YouTube videos that he made. Allow me to introduce you to FriendlyJordies, an Australian comedian, YouTuber, and reporter who has uncovered quite a few different hard-hitting stories, including corruption with the Australian government and logging companies that are destroying the Australian wildlife and endangering koala habitats. Now, because of the type of journalism that he does, FriendlyJordies has made a lot of enemies, and one of those enemies blew up his house with a firebomb. Now, I could tell you all the details, but instead I'm simply going to show you a clip from the first few minutes of his most recent YouTube video, because I feel like he summarizes what's going on very succinctly. So, roll clip.
Late one night last November, my house was firebombed.
A fiery message that's hard to miss.
Police are tonight hunting an arsonist who targeted the home of controversial FriendlyJordies YouTube blogger Jordan Shanks. It's the second time the property has been firebombed in a week.
Obviously, we've done some extremely dangerous reporting over the last year, I suppose, of a bunch of extremely powerful people and corporations. There is many people that would want to do that.
No one has the record that he has for doing some hard-hitting journalism, and this is his payday. Someone's trying to kill him.
In what I now know was a premeditated attack that at best was intended to terrify me and at worst was intended to kill me. But the firebombers, they forgot to take one thing into account. I'm very disorganised. The night that happened, I was supposed to be sleeping here. I don't even have smoke alarms, so there's a very good chance that if I was, I could have ended up like the content you're watching right now. Fire. But I wasn't here because that week I was performing my live show in Melbourne and I forgot my keys while I was down there. So there, criminals outwitted. It reminds me of that quote, if we don't know what we're doing, then the enemy certainly can't anticipate our future actions. So I was sleeping somewhere else that night, with the firebombers' mums. But I will admit, the firebombers did succeed in terrifying me, and I've spent the last couple of months doing two things apart from the firebombers' mums. That's hiding and ruminating. This video is a culmination of that rumination. This is an explanation of who could have possibly have done this to such a small, relatively unknown Australian YouTuber. And hey, if that sounds too dry, well, you kids like Knives Out or whatever, stick around. It's a pretty interesting whodunit.
I'm sure I don't have to tell you that this entire situation is incredibly fucked up, and to be completely honest, it's hard to even cover any other news topic after presenting information like this. It's really hard to transition from a YouTuber was almost murdered in an explosion over to Game Theory has a new channel, or transition to Gargura has a docu that people are complaining about. You know what I mean? Like, everything else going on right now feels a lot less significant than a guy's house getting blown to shit. So let me know what y'all think in the comments down below.